Cassius Blue Consulting. This is episode 3 of our 4-part series on AWTN. And today we're going to talk about the importance of converting website visitors into paying customers. So let's jump to it. First, let's talk about what conversion is. Website conversion is simply the mathematical equation that takes the number of people that visit your website versus the number of people that take a desired action. Those desired actions will vary from one website to another. On an e-commerce site, a conversion may be those that actually make a purchase. For many of you, a conversion would be those that subscribe to your website. Other forms of conversions are completing a form, visiting a series of pages, taking some type of assessment or calculator. Any action that you hope your website visitors take can be measured as a part of conversion. And there are goals that are tied to each of those opportunities. But before we jump into that, let's talk about why you should really care about your online marketing and the impact that it can have on your business. So let's look at some statistics. More than half of all United States residents and more than 3/4 of all adults are online. 311 million is the estimated U.S. population, and 164 million of those are internet users. Everyone is online. 1/3 of U.S. consumers spend greater than 3 hours online every single day. And more of the things that we used to do offline, we are now doing online. For example, 87% of people use a search engine daily. 78% do product research, 66% buy a product, and 32% rate a product or service. Your potential customers are online, and it's important that you are also and that you're being effective. In addition, worldwide, we conduct 34,000 searches per second on Google, 2 million per minute, and the amount goes on. People are searching. They're searching for your product and your service. Not only do you have to get found, but you have to make sure that once you get them, you capture them and can turn that into a sale. So the fact that people are online and that they're searching for your product and service, what that means is not only do you need to capture their attention, but once they get to your website, you need to capture their information and convert that into a sale. Often your website is the first entry point that someone has to your brand. It's their first encounter, whether they search or find you via social media or through some other electronic means. They land on your website and that is their first impression about your brand. So what happens next? What are you telling businesses, or what are you telling potential customers about your business? In our last episode, we talked a lot about branding. So I'm going to assume that you've gone through and built a strong brand and have improved your overall look and feel of your site. But are you converting those visitors into paying customers. Let's talk a bit about the sales cycle. When people first come to your website, they're not necessarily ready to buy from you at that moment. The first stage of the buying process is someone becomes aware of a problem or a need, and they start to research their options. And in their research, that's generally when they encounter your business. However, if it's their first introduction to who you are and what you do, they may not be ready to actually hand over that credit card and spend their money with you. Instead, they first need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. So one of the key things that your website is supposed to do first is to help your potential customers to know who you are, what you stand for, and what you offer. Your value proposition should be very clear on your website. What makes you different from your competitors? What do you have to offer? How can you solve their problem or fulfill their need? Once they've determined that you are capable of doing what they need, of offering the product or service that's going to solve their problem or fulfill their need, they need to then like you. Social media and blogs are a key way to help give people some insight into you and to like what you have to offer. It gives them a repeated interaction with who you are. They can see your expertise, they can see what people are saying about you, they can see how engaged you are with those that are paying attention to you. They will start to like you. And the final stage is to get them to trust you. People have an infinite number of options on how they can spend their money. And unless what you do is so truly unique, there's somewhere else that they can get it from, and likely a big business that they know that they can trust. However, their preference may be to work with you. They hopefully will see the benefits and the value in that, but they need to trust that you are going to do what you've promised that you will do, that your product or service will deliver on the value and meet their needs. So there's lots of ways that you can get them to trust you. Testimonials and reviews is a key way to help someone feel confident in their purchase. Remember the statistics we looked at a few moments ago? A large number of people are turning online for product reviews. Whether on your site or other sites like Yelp and Amazon, people want to know what others who have bought from you are saying. So if you don't currently have testimonials on your website, you want to make sure to reach out to past customers to get those there so that people will trust you. Depending on what your product or service is, you may have ways to allow them to try your product to help build trust. If you're a service-based business, do you offer free consultations where they can get to know and trust you more? If you're a product-based business and what you do can be put into a sample form, are you making samples or small sizes available? Do you have a free shipping or return policy? These are all things that will help your customers to really trust you and to try out your service to move them to the stage where they're ready to buy. That's when your website is really a money-making machine for you. So it's important that you find ways to convert those website visitors. So let's talk a little bit about calls to action. A call to action are the words used on your website that tell your website visitors what you want them to do. It is imperative that you have strong call to actions throughout your website. One of the biggest mistakes that you can make is to not tell your website visitors what you want them to do. I go to so many websites and I land on the home page, and although the service is intriguing, I'm not sure what the next step is for me. If I'm not at that point where I'm ready to fill out the Call Me Now form or to make an actual purchase, I don't know what they want me to do. Your call to action should be strong, they should be present, and they should appear on every page above the fold. When I land on your page, I should know what you want me to do without having to scroll, without having to look around, and most importantly, without having to guess. When I finished my undergraduate degree, it was said in my coursework that it took 7 to 10 interactions before someone would likely buy from you. With the internet being so prominent and there being so much noise that's thrown at people, that number has probably tripled. It takes at least 21 touches with your business before someone's going to move through those stages of knowing you, liking you, and trusting you. So one of the key things in website conversions, in getting people to buy from you, is to keep them coming back. If you don't already have a newsletter or some type of email subscription list, I encourage you to add something to your site. That gives people a very low committing way to stay in contact with you and gives you the ability to market to them. If you're not already blogging, you should be. Again, blogs are another way to keep your website visitors coming back. The more that they interact with you, the more likely they are to purchase from you. And even outside of your website, social media is also an integral part of your website conversions. What you're posting on social media should point back to your website. Share your blog posts, things you're talking about. Share your services. Always direct them back to your site, in which case you have the opportunity to capture their information. Once you've captured their information, you can directly market to them and stay connected with them until they get to that point where they are comfortable with purchasing from you. So when the need arises, if it doesn't exist when they first encounter you, they will already know you, like you, and trust you, and therefore will buy from you. If they're ready to buy and actively looking for a service or a product, you'll get them there a lot faster. Your website should be the hub of your marketing efforts. It should be a driver of leads and a driver of success. Until next week, this has been the 3rd episode on AWTN. Until next time.